Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to a brand new video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe because we're on the road to 1k subscribers. We're getting closer every single day. We're about, 80 subscribers off getting to 1k, so please subscribe if you haven't already because that's what we're trying to get to. Now, Daniel Fark said, I didn't realize he said this after the game, but in his interview, he said Leeds United player would be a Barcelona player if he could attack like he defends. Who's that player that Daniel Fark was talking about? It's Brendan Aaronson, who in my opinion got a lot of stick after the game, and I just wanted to talk about this, especially on Twitter. He got a lot of stick saying he wasn't good, he was one of the worst players, he was shit. In my opinion, he was one of the better players on the pitch. Yes, going forward, that's exactly what Daniel Fark said. Defensively, he's amazing. And I agree, I actually agree with Daniel Fark, and I know he doesn't mean it. It's one of those comments that's not meant to be taken fully seriously about, yeah, he'll definitely play for Barcelona if he could attack the way he defends. But what he means is he's a very good defender. If he could defend the way if he could attack the way how good he can defend, he'd be a great attacker to have, and he'd be a great attacking player. But the thing that Aaronson did in that game, which I want to actually just highlight, is Iwobi and Sessegnon, I think that's how he said, on that left side, if Nonto starts on that right wing position, those two have way better games. I think Iwobi has a way better game, because, I mean, you saw it when Kevin came on. Kevin came on, and what was the first real thing I remember him doing? Skinning Nonto and hitting that ball, which was saved by Darlow. If Aaronson on the pitch at that time, does Aaronson stop him from cutting in? Does Aaronson stop him? I generally think Aaronson maybe could have stopped him, because I think defensively Aaronson's very good, and I think that's why Sessegnon and Iwobi both had quiet games in my opinion as well. Not all because of Aaronson, of course, also because of Bogle, but that combination on the right side of Aaronson and Bogle defensively, very good. And I think Aaronson gets a lot of stick about he can't create as well, and I just wanted to say, it's funny that people say that he can't create when he's created 2 big chances this season already. Meanwhile, Nonto's created 0. So Nonto's actually created nothing this season that's actually been a big chance. Like, he hasn't created any big chances, while Aaronson's created 2. And when I look at that, and I've watched the games, and I think Aaronson has put in better chances, but the thing is, he doesn't do it consistently, ball in every time he goes forward. And I do understand that people just want the ball to hit him, every time he gets the ball on the wing, they want him to cross it in. But I think he's been better than what Nonto's been this season. And then you got people saying, well, Nonto should play on the right. But that's after he hasn't been that great on the left. And I just think people are trying to cope and try and say, oh no, he's better on the right now, when all the time all I've been hearing is Nonto's better on the left. Nonto's better on the left. Nonto's better on the left. He should start on the left. And then this season when he has played, I don't think he's been amazing. I don't think he's been great. I don't think he's been terrible, but he hasn't been good. He hasn't looked dangerous in my opinion. He's had flashes of moments where he maybe looks dangerous, but overall in a game, does he ever look dangerous we are going to score from a chance he's created? And then people, as soon as Okafor starts, people are like, well, now Nonto should start on the left, on the right, sorry. Nonto should start on the right. But I just don't understand that, because you go from him being a left winger, and then you go, oh, actually, no, he's better on the right because he's not performing on the left. And I just think people are trying to cope with saying, oh no, he is a good winger, but he should be on the other side. And then when that fails, he should be on the other side. And then when that fails, he should be on the other side. Can we just maybe we just have to realize he's not a bad winger at all, but maybe for Premier League level, he's average to below average, which isn't a bad thing. The Premier League has some very, very good wingers, and the Premier League has a lot of good wingers. Maybe we just have to realize that for the Premier League level, he's about an average to below average winger. And that's fine, because there's a lot of dangerous wingers. Look, I look at Dan James as well, and I go, is he probably an average to below average winger? Probably. Same with Aaronson. Average to below average winger. Okafor, not quite sure about, but what I've seen so far is a good performance against Fulham, where I thought he looked dangerous and, he was going to create it sometimes. But then against Sheffield Wednesday, he was absolutely terrible, in my opinion. So I'm looking at our wingers, and I've said this, I think we have the worst attack in the league. People go, oh, Burnley. At least Jayden Anthony's putting the ball in the back of the net. Jayden Anthony has 2 goals, 1 assist this season. He's actually playing good this season. He's putting the ball in the back of the net. He's got an assist. He's done stuff. So when I look at that and I go, yeah, we do have the worst attack this season. I don't know if this is a controversial take, but I'd rather Foster up front, who's up front for Burnley, than any of our strikers. I'd rather him than DCL. I'd rather him than Mekcha. I'd rather him than Pirro. I think he's more dangerous than all of them. I'm not saying he's a great striker. I just think he's better than what we've got. So I'm looking at our team and I'm saying we probably have the worst attack in the league. And that goes back to the board for not backing him. You know, that goes back to the board for not backing Daniel Farke. So yeah, but back on Aaronson, I do think Aaronson deserves more praise for how good he actually did play against Fulham. And I think this shows what Aaronson's going to be used for. I think Daniel Farke, one of his mistakes that he's realised that we didn't realise at the time against Arsenal was he should have started Aaronson. So I think when we play the big boys, so when we play the Liverpools, when we play the Arsenals again, when we play Chelsea, when we play Man City, when we play these top teams, I think Aaronson starts on the right because of his defensive ability. But against a team like Wolves, I probably want someone else to start on the right. But then I look at that and I go, who else are you going to start on the right? Because Dan James looks like he's injured again. And in my opinion, Nonto's not looked deadly at all this season, so probably I would actually keep Aaronson. But that's again goes back to the board for not buying another right winger and not buying someone that's suitable to play that position that looks dangerous on the attack. So all of this, when you talk about the team and the attack and who should start on the wings, it goes back to the board at the end of the day, not doing their job and signing the players that we do need in attack to look deadly, score goals, and, you know, create chances. So it all goes back to the board, which in January, we're going to come back to talking about transfers when, in my opinion, the clubs have already said they don't want to spend in January. I've actually been happy with the start of the season. I'll do an overall of how the season started. I mean, I've liked the start of the season. 4 points in 4 games. That's a good start. It's not a bad start at all. It should be 5. You know, we should be ahead of scum. You know, we should have 5 points. But performances wise, I think we've looked all right. I think we look good. Of course, defense and midfield, I go Premier League level, but then the attack is what the clubs let us down with, what the 49ers have let us down with. You go back to the board, you go back to all, like the board, you go back to Underwood, you go back to the 49ers, you go back to everyone involved, and it's their fault. It's their fault at the end of the day. Yeah, you can't. So when the players step on the pitch and they don't perform, or they don't get an assist, or they don't get a goal, and they don't create, it's back to the board. Because I'm looking at it and I'm going, you can blame the players for not playing well. Yes, you can criticise the performance. But at the end of the day, it all goes back to the board about not bringing in the attackers that we needed. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And let me know what you thought of Aaronson's performance against Fulham. Because I've seen a lot of people, I've not really seen any positives about him, really. I've seen actually a couple of people say, like, people are being a bit too harsh on him and I think he was good. But a lot of people are saying that he was terrible, which I do not agree with. I think there's just an agenda against him because it's Brendan Aaronson. I think there is an agenda. If Nonso had the exact same performance as Aaronson did, I think people would say he had a good performance. But because it's Aaronson, I think people have this like agenda against him, which is fine. Have your agendas. But yeah, if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you are new. Of course, we're on the road to 1K. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.